if you look at somebody who wants to really do architecture, most of them want to do public buildings.
Okay.
Because public buildings are, as they are public, they are in a mass domain.
More rewarding.
Lot of people see it. Yes.
Yeah. When I was going through some of the projects that you've done, there's a term that comes up very often, unbuilt. Can you explain to me what unbuilt is?
Yeah. So we have participated in national and international competitions multiple times.
Okay.
And 16 times we've been runners up.
Do you think a little bit of travel, a little bit of, things that you could do as an architect or an upcoming architect could fuel that imagination?
It's a totally abused word. Sustainability has been in my country for thousands of years.
Exactly.
So what was new about it? Thought, what is that one thing that I must say to anybody who's listening to this? Please treat architects like professionals. They know their work very well. You never go to a doctor and suggest to the doctor that you should give me this medicine to me. Show me one architecture school which produces a kid, a thinking kid, and let me tell you, if they come out with one kid out of 40, that's not a credit to them, it's to the kid.
He's built some of India's most iconic spaces and isn't afraid to call out what's wrong with our cities. From imagination to infrastructure, multiple award-winning architect Amit Sharma of Axiom India joins Design and Dialogues to talk design, dysfunction, and the dream of an upcoming generation of talented architects.
Architect Amit, welcome to Design and Dialogues.
Thank you.
Let's start from the very beginning. Why architecture and when did you decide to do it?
Very early in life. I think I was in class 8 or 9 and I'd won a art competition, Shankar art competition. I came back home and my grandfather was very happy to see it. I said he should become an engineer. Then after a day or two he said he's very artistic, he can become an architect, and that's the first seed I remember in my head, that I should become an architect. And then I started looking at architecture consciously, and the environment was also such that one was always looking at beautiful buildings. Delhi is full of beautiful buildings.
It is.
So you grew up with all these beautiful things around you, and I think that is where I got into architecture.
So there's some of the projects that you've done, big scale projects. Did you always have that in mind, that I want to do these big sort of projects, or was it a gradual sort of increase in terms of the level?
No. So my first project was a 50 square meter house for someone.
Okay.
So it's not that one started with a big project or one thought that one would want to do a big project. I was a trained product designer.
Okay.
So my career actually started with doing exhibitions.
Right.
And exhibitions is a place where the amalgamation is beautiful of product design and of architecture. So till about 2006 I was hardcore into exhibitions, exhibit design, and we used to work for people like TVS. You remember there used to be a company called Kenwood. They used to produce music systems.
Yes.
So all these people were my clients, and so it's only after I think 2006, 6, that's the time when we got a good big project, architecture project around Delhi, and we started on that, and that is when it took up, and we slowly, gradually got out of doing exhibit design and into hardcore architecture.
Okay, interesting.
So it did not happen overnight.
Yeah.
I've been there for 30 years now, so.
And was it a gradual, was it a push that you were looking forward to, or was it something that, you had your hands tied and that's why you had to get into it?
No. So I think most of the architects, if you look at somebody who wants to really do architecture, most of them want to do public buildings.
Okay.
Because public buildings are, as they are public, they are in a mass domain.
More rewarding?
Lot of people see it, yes.
Yeah.
So if you do a beautiful farmhouse, 100, 200, 500 viewership of a beautiful farmhouse.
Yeah.
What do you do when you do a beautiful government building?
Yeah.
Even if it is not beautiful, every day thousands of people see it.
Yeah.
And I think that is the best reward that you get out of it. Of course, the money is there.
Yeah.
But that is the beauty of doing a public building.
Okay.
So as a architect who wanted to be recognized as an architect, you have to get into a domain where more and more people see your works. So if you looked at the greats, we have Charles Corrier, we have Doshi Sahab, we have Reval Sahab. They've done a lot of houses, but how many houses do you know? They are known more by their public buildings.
Okay.
So if you looked at the Parliament Library, which Reval Sahab did, got him into the Faden's book of encyclopedia.
Yes.
So look at Doshi Sahab's building. So it's all about public work. The second thing I feel is that at the end of the day, as an architect again, when you're working with an individual or a family for doing a house, you are really bowed down by their whims and fancies.
Okay.
But when you do a public building, there is no such thing.
So like it's a free canvas.
Yes.
Is there no guidelines that they give to you?
They only give a requirement brief.
Okay.
That
Right.
we need one director's cabin, 20 this, 30 that. But at the end of the day, they don't tell you what to do.
So they let free your imagination. You can do whatever you want.
Absolutely. So recently I visited the Parliament.
Yeah.
2-3 months back. Now, when I saw the Parliament, I realized nobody in the private sector will allow you to do what he's done in the Parliament. It's so beautiful, so massive, and of course, there's a lot of public money that's got into it. But then it's also a building which you can admire.
Yeah.
At the detail level, at the architecture level, it's a wonderful job. So, public domain, I feel, is where you really, get the adulation.
Okay. Is there a specific person or a mentor that really helped you shape your life when you were getting into this?
Many. I've had the best professors that one can talk about. Professor A.G.K. Menon, Professor Ashok Lal, the late Professor Ashish Ganju, and then I had. I think I was blessed. I had this whole array of people who taught us things and taught us with a lot of conviction,
Yeah.
a lot of effort. Missing now completely in education today and institutions, but and then we've had people who have not directly shaped your lives. So I remember my first client, the first big client that I had, he was totally enamored by what we were doing.
Okay.
Because this was a grade B town and we did something for them which was appreciated a lot.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, today if I look at my client list, I think 50% of the clients are because of that one person that I worked for.
Okay.
So yes, if you ask me, he was my Midas.
Yeah.
and so there are a lot of people like that, and of course I mentioned my grandfather, was probably he was the one who identified that okay, this guy had a seed for doing this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, from the background I come from, most of us end up becoming doctors, lawyers or engineers, or civil servants.
Okay.
So architecture was not something which everybody was doing in the early 90s.
When I was going through some of the projects that you've done, there's a term that comes up very often, unbuilt. Can you explain to me what unbuilt is?
Yeah. So we have participated in national and international competitions multiple times.
Okay.
And 16 times we've been runners up.
Oh, fantastic.
So, no, it's fantastic for you. But we feel bad because 16 times
you've been coming second.
Yes. So what is it that is there which we don't have to make us become number one?
Yeah.
So we started putting that also on our website because we realized that realization of a project is one part. But concept of the project itself is good.
Yeah.
And we thought people should see it. People should be able to see how we conceptualize our works, and whether it's built or not is a matter of multiple things, reasons. Finally, we sort of won.
Yeah.
and it was built.
Okay.
And we built a small sculpture for the Tata Steel,
Which one? Okay.
Agni,
Okay.
and celebrating 150 years of Tatas.
Okay.
And Noel Tata inaugurated it,
Yeah.
and it was nice. Incidentally, even there, we were not the final winners.
Okay.
We were
Hopefully
we were shortlisted.
Okay.
Final 6.
Right.
And we are saying that, final 6, so obviously ours will never get built, because only the best one is built every second or third year as notions of India competition. But then we get a call from Tata's and they said that no, we have got a winner. His project will be built somewhere else, but Tata's want to build your sculpture in Jamshedpur.
Oh, lovely.
So here we were in front of Nauroji Tata's statue, and on the opposite side is the
Sculpture. Lovely. So the projects that you came runners up in and never translated into anything, I'm sure there were many learnings from it.
Yeah.
But the winning projects, what were they doing different, which was not done by you?
Can I be candid?
16 times.
Can I be candid?
Please be.
So most of the projects, especially competitions, are won through contacts, connects.
Okay.
And everybody knows that. Most of the architects know it. Some government projects, some private projects, but there are few which are genuine competitions. Usually you will see when you go on the websites, if there is no design, if there is no entry fee in a design competition, it usually is a genuine competition. Okay. Because they are, they are genuinely asking for good ideas. Okay. But if there is an entry fee, you will usually find that, because entry fee is to restrict the number of people coming in.
Yeah.
So you will find that it is doctored. And our learning from the entire process was that whether it's doctored or not doesn't matter. You enjoy your process of doing the design, sending the concept and presenting it. So happy.
Okay. So when you approach a new project, when you approach a new site, what do you look at first? Is it the people? Is it the site, the geography, the sustainability aspect of it? What comes to your mind first?
So we learned something called form follows function.
Okay.
When we see a site, we immediately start with what is the climatology, what is the topography of the land, what is the use required, who are the users. Something which is very important is the context, and it could be also the cultural context. If I'm building a house in Delhi versus I'm building a house in, say, in Himachal, the cultural context is also very different.
Yes.
Of course, the climatology and topography is different.
Yeah.
So that becomes very important for us. Then we sit down with, if it is a public building, we sit down with the users, end users. So we have had very good community engagement programs. We were doing a project, and we actually sat down with 150, 160 workers.
Okay.
The entire day was spent. Ideation happened. Lot of interesting ideas came up, and at the end of the day, we came up with ideas which we otherwise would have missed. So I would say that the workers, they were the real, ideators.
Yeah.
They gave the ideas. We obviously are realizing it for them. The same thing happens when we are sitting with families and doing their homes. So we enjoy sitting with the entire family. We don't want to sit with just the,
the decision maker.
Yeah, the one decision maker. Okay, the decision maker is fine, but believe me, after the first 10% of the time spent on the buildings, the decision makers are missing. It's always the wives and the children and the grandmothers and the parents.
Yeah.
So we always feel that we need to take their inputs and start a project with a very well-defined design brief.
Okay. What is the design philosophy that you would never say, I'm not going to let this go?
So, 2-3 things we learnt in school. Our professors used to insist on less is more. Our professors used to insist on something which is build in a context. Don't build out of context. Don't put like when I come to Gurgaon, I see so many glass buildings. I mean, why do you need so many glass buildings in a hot country like ours? Okay.
Deflects light.
Yeah, it is making the building hot.
Yeah.
It bringing in the heat, and so context is important. and I had a passion for large span structures.
Okay.
So I like building bigger spans. I like building. So a lot of projects that I do, especially the industrial projects, we try and experiment a lot with structural systems.
Okay.
So and I think that's what people like also. People coming to clients coming to me, they're looking for something unique in their structure in terms of okay, I don't want to build a shed. I need something new. So like I remember in 2004 we came up with the first cable stay structure building in the country. Nobody had built. And it was a challenge because you would not have the accessories that are required. So we produced everything, but we built it. Even today, when you go on that road, that entire road stretch of Delhi to Rohtak, if you just name that building, everybody knows that building.
Where it is.
Because the form is beautiful, the form is unique. So I think that is the entire philosophy. You do something contextually right. You do something which is unnecessarily not, what do you call it? You don't have to be expensive. Loud, pata nahi, I don't want to use that word because it offends people.
Subjective,
But I don't want to build unnecessary.
Okay.
So that is important.
Do you think imagination is sort of going down in architects?
Zero. There is no imagination now. I've had people in my office. You ask them to sit down and do a concept. They first thing that they do is go to Pinterest. They'll start hunting for ideas, and you ask them what are you doing? They start looking for inspiration. I said, damn it, it should have come from your head. So it's zero.
Why do you think that is happening though?
Multiple reasons, Athar, multiple reasons. I think the first reason is education is on the decline. So out of the box thinking is becoming thing of the past. Too many options available, and people are also becoming lazy. So if you go to an institute today to teach, kids don't turn up. They will do their project and submit because the project is coming from everywhere. Thinking process itself has died out because everything is on the click of a button. You don't want to think. So I remember when I was in school, we studied geography, and while we were studying geography, we used to play trivia in school in geography. I still remember the highest lake in the world is Lake Titicaca. And I can tell you, not even 1 out of 100 kids today will tell you where it is. Because you know what they'll do? When they want to know which is the highest lake in the world, they'll just Google it. They don't want to remember.
ChatGPT.
And it's not that it doesn't help. Believe me, some people say, why do you need to store so much info in your head? No, because when you are in a dialogue with somebody, like I'm sitting with you right now, I can't go to ChatGPT all the time to answer you. It has to come out of your head. So I think that spontaneity is gone, and design requires that.
Do you think a little bit of travel, a little bit of things that you could do as an architect or an upcoming architect could fuel that imagination?
Absolutely. In fact, I've been telling children that you are paying, to the tune of 2.5 lakhs a year to fund your education, 5 years of architecture. In fact, I've gone on record in Indian Institute of Architects to say that they should reduce the course to 4 years, and 1 year should only be travel. उतने ही पैसे में हो जाएगा. Right?
ठीक है.
You have to go to one developed country which has a culture. So I recommend kids go to a European country. It has a culture. 1,000 years of culture is there. You will see stuff standing side by side, a modern building and a 900-year-old building. The culture is
in the same space. Almost.
Same space.
Yeah.
Unlike in the US.
Correct.
US you won't find it.
No.
North America you won't find anything. So culturally rich, but they'll also demonstrate to you new technology. So that is there. Then at the same time, I completely recommend kids to travel within the country. The kind of, I'm getting goosebumps, the kind of architecture that is there in my country is phenomenal. phenomenal, from the cave architecture all the way to the modern architecture, phenomenal. And there are architects doing wonderful work. I told you, I just went to the parliament and it's beautiful. So if the kids first you just visit the parliament and spend the entire day looking at the architecture of parliament, I think there's more to learn than in one semester of education in the college. So karna chahiye, I think they should do it.
So you've done a ski resort project as well. How was that?
So the ski resort project was a presentation.
Yeah.
We got the space, we got the land was allocated.
Yeah.
And we started work on it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it will take us 2 years, 2.5 years, because right now the hills is in a bad state.
It is.
And this is a private project.
Okay.
So usually private projects mein kya hota hai that they also look at how funds are coming in, but the guys were very happy with the design.
The idea, okay.
And again, conceptually, what you do should have a strong context. Okay. Now that, when we were designing that, every time it used to come to our head, yeah, what do we do? You're designing in Himachal, what do you do?
Yeah.
So we kept thinking, and we realized let's go down to the drop of water, that one single drop, and then we started working around that and came up with this. When we showcased it to the client, he said, "ये तो आपने spaceship बनाया है. It looks like a spaceship." I said, yeah, it's super happy.
The design does look phenomenal.
Yeah. So then he asked, "Amit ji, banega kitne mein?"
Yeah.
So that was the part where I became more happy, because when we told him that it will cost this much, he didn't blink an eye. He said, "Let's do it."
Oh, fantastic.
So those are the days when you come back home, you're feeling very happy. And the beauty is that till date, we have not finalized the fee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, okay, you've spoken about the design challenge that you had, and you've converted your client. What do you think would be the on-ground challenges for you doing such a grand scale project and a beautiful looking project as well? How do you synergize both of them?
So, most difficult today is the NGT.
Okay, which is?
National Green Tribunal. Okay, so it has to be environmentally up to the mark. So it has to go through that. So that will be the most challenging part, because they are very tough now in the hills, and they should be.
Yes.
Because I think we are doing unnecessary stuff in the hills without thinking much.
Yeah.
So that is going to be the greatest challenge. The second challenge I feel is the old construction process, because it is right up there in the hills.
What's the altitude level?
Yeah, I think it is 7,000.
Okay.
I think 7,200 pair.
Okay.
So it becomes the window of work that you get in that place is roughly about 6 months in a year.
Yeah.
And we want to finish it in 2.5 years.
Okay.
So we are trying to make everything prefabricated. Everything will be produced in Chandigarh.
Okay.
Shipped there and then assembled.
Okay.
So we are hoping that will work. So that is going to be a challenge, because skills for that kind of project I don't think is very good in the country even today.
Yeah. So out of all the projects that you've done, which is one that has given you the most learning curve, unexpected learning curve?
So we were doing this Sarkari work project, and we were handling a lot of bureaucracy there.
Okay.
And we realized that we have never been taught how to handle this entire thing. We are creative people. कुछ चीज़ सोचते हैं, बनाते हैं, and we are good to go. But here, the effort was more in the bureaucracy than in the design.
Okay.
It was a 1 year exercise, and believe in that 1 year, the design time would not have been more than 10% of the total time spent on the project.
Right.
The 90% of the time, it was only and only writing a letter there, writing a mail there, trying to get people on board, getting them to sit down and meet. So it was a headache. And we realized that whenever you are trying to do a Sarkari project, day one, you need to establish who is going to be your point of contact. There cannot be multiple points of contact. So that was the great learning. Okay. That in a public building, the project, your client has to be one face. So I'm going and I'm addressing that person for everything that I'm not doing. Not once this guy, once that guy. It used to become a headache, challenge.
Of course.
And they don't interact for multiple reasons. Again, there is an issue of seniority, and there is an issue of ego, and it's not our problem, but they don't interact, and because of that, the project suffered. So that was a great learning.
So out of all the projects that you've done, commercial, residential, which ones do you prefer? Which ones do you go for?
I don't prefer residential.
No? Doesn't excite you?
No. And reason being very simple. I think it's I don't want to use the word demanding. It's too whimsical.
Okay.
There are 5 people in the family. All 5 want different things in the house, and you're building one house.
Yeah.
How do you do it? So at the end of the day, none of them is satisfied. All of them are cribbing, and the level of satisfaction that they get out of doing something, I'm not sure if it's all anyway close to 100% ever. On the other hand, when you do a public building or a residential, commercial or an institutional building, as I said, it's a bigger canvas. You have more freedom to work, because people know less about what you're trying to do. You see, when you're doing somebody's bedroom, for example, मेरे दीवार का कलर ये कर देना, ठीक है? They go to that level. But when you're doing a school, or when you're doing a factory or doing an office, nobody is going to tell you कि I want this color wall here and that color flooring there. No. They'll leave it to you. So I think that is what I enjoy. Please leave it to me. I'm the specialist. When you invited me for this podcast, I thought, what is that one thing that I must say to anybody who's listening to this? Please treat architects like professionals. They know their work very well. You never go to a doctor and suggest to the doctor that you should give me this medicine to me, right? So similarly, don't suggest to an architect that do this for me. The architect has got amazing brains, lovely experience, a lot of experience, and they deliver beautiful stuff. So leave it to them. So it's.
Is there a dream project that you've been waiting to work on?
No. There's no dream project. I think every project that one gets, if I'm able to crack, if I'm able to find a solution to an interesting problem, I feel very happy. So recently we are doing the ancillary building for Rashtrapati Bhavan.
Okay.
And this is a sub-ground building.
Okay.
-2 levels.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of challenges which are not visible. Because when you build a building above the ground, elevation has to be beautiful, this has to. But what do you do when you build a building underground, 2 levels? How do you connect it to an old building? It's a 100-year-old building, Rashtrapati Bhavan. How do you connect to that?
Yes.
So there's a trench that exists, and we are trying to figure out a way to bring in all the infrastructure through that. And this building has to go through a very stringent kind of norms, because there is the Heritage Conservation Committee, there is the Delhi Urban Arts Committee, and they'll all look at it and they'll say, it should be in sync with what is happening in the fabric of Rashtrapati Bhavan. So something like that interests, and वो करने में मजा भी आता है, because at the end of the day, it's like one has been practicing for so many years. Money has become a smaller component which interests you now. It does interest you because you have to run your office, but you don't go and do a project only because it's paying you well. You want to now do projects which give you something to, and they give you a challenge, something where you can put your brains and say, okay, let me crack this for you.
Yeah.
मजा उसी का है.
And also it comes back to the first thing that you said, more people are going to see it, so it will be more rewarding for you,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. So a very interesting thing happened. I go to teach, and I take this one class in the entire week, and suddenly, because obviously my office would have posted something on the Insta, and they came to know that we are doing Rashtrapati Bhavan, and they got super excited. Now this is a guy who's been working for 30 damn years, has done so many projects, as you said, but I was not able to excite my students.
Okay.
Suddenly when they know that this guy is also doing something in Rashtrapati Bhavan, they get excited.
Okay.
Why? it is house number 1 in the country.
Yes.
So that is the beauty of doing a public building. You could have done a Ambani or a Adani house, minted a lot of money, but at the end of the day, how many people know it? How many people have a recollection of it? How many people go to it and get pictures clicked? Look at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, in the evenings you go on the Raisina Road,
Yeah.
and you see
That's
those
true.
thousands of people getting pictures clicked. It's an iconic building.
It is. It is. Let's shift gears a little
Okay.
bit. Okay. Let's talk about urban planning. Let's talk about Gurgaon in particular.
Oh, they don't go together.
It's an oxymoron,
Yeah,
as,
it's an
as
oxymoron,
many would
completely.
say it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it is, again, it's called an unplanned city. What do you think went wrong?
Oh, the Gurgaon is very simple. Gurgaon is a simple case where the builder lobby has completely taken over the planners, the government. It has taken over everything. So whatever the builder will do, you'll have to do. So what has happened in Gurgaon is very interesting. Cities are built like you build the road, you put in the infrastructure, you create plots, and then on the plots buildings happen. Gurgaon is the other way around. मेरा plot यहाँ पे था. I have done my condominium. There's another condo here. There's another condo here. Now connected
बीच में
with
रोड
roads.
लगा देते हैं. Yeah.
So that is where you goofed up.
Yeah.
And that is when, monsoons, you have riverfront apartments in Gurgaon.
Yeah.
So I don't think there is any urban planning whatsoever in Gurgaon. Not because there are no good urban planners, but because there's a lobby which doesn't allow you to do good thing. And you have to get rid of that lobby, which is difficult. It's very difficult.
If you had to reimagine Gurgaon, what would be the first 3 things that you would do?
The most important thing about Gurgaon is the sewer and drain system has to be corrected. Every year you get clogged. What does clogging do? It doesn't just kill those 3 months of monsoon. It kills the next 6 months of bad roads. Because every year the clogging destroys the roads. I've come to your place. The last, I think, 25 minutes of my ride, I was just trying to avoid potholes. So that's because the clogging happened. It's not because the road was not built. So the first thing is get the sewer and drains in place. A lot of my friends stay here. All the sewers and drains are under designed. They are not being designed for the densities they are catering to. So that has to be number 1. Number 2, if you look at Gurgaon, there are no open areas. The condos have their own open areas, but you come out of the condo and you're on the road, there are no open
nothing
areas.
else.
So if you looked at DLF phase 1, 2, 3, 4, Sushant Lok and all those areas, there were some parks. Sushant Lok has eaten all the parks also now. Okay. But the ratio of those open areas to the built is very poor, which is what is beautiful even today about Delhi. Especially, the planned areas of Delhi, they're super. Why do you think South Delhi is South Delhi? Why do you think even today, if you offered somebody to stay in South Delhi, would grab it? So the reason is because it's well planned with all the villages around. It's still well planned. The way the villages plug in,
Yeah.
there are very nice thresholds between the villages and the planned areas.
Yeah.
Very good.
So speaking of architects and urban planners who do have knowledge and expertise in this area, we the policy makers or the lobbyists that you were talking about who do not, it's not their area of expertise. How do you think they can work together?
Atharva, the first thing is more and more architects and architect planners have to be on various committees. So slowly what happened was that, and this has happened all over the country, slowly the engineers lobby has pushed the architects out. That is the worst thing that could have happened. The engineers are not trained to design the way we are. The engineers design empirically. They don't go beyond that. It's pure empirical design. That's why they say, this is the difference between a civil engineer and an architect. Both can build. I'll build something which you like. He'll build something in which you can just live. So I'm saying that difference has to be understood, and I'm not belittling the engineers'
Of course.
work. Okay, uska wo kaam hai, but you have to come to me because I'm the one who can plan something with context, cultural, physical, economical, social. He's not trained to do that. I am. So till the time you don't get more architects on various committees and platforms, it's not going to happen.
What's the mindset change that needs to happen with these developers?
The developers have to understand this thing that selling every square inch of space is not going to give them the returns. Selling good level of well-being is going to give them the dividends. So all the rich condos that you see even in Gurgaon are the ones which are very spacious. Okay, and even the poor ones, the ones which are doing very well, are the ones which are spacious. So if for something which is spacious, you can still charge a little more.
There's a premium attached to it.
Correct. So I'm sure that sense, I don't know why that sensibility is not there, and it's common sense. It's common sense. Look at the airlines, na? They offer extra leg room for 500 rupees and everybody pays. I pay. Everybody pays. So you would do that, but start offering that extra leg room, na, which you are not doing.
What about sustainability? Is it in architecture, especially these days? Do you feel it is just only a buzzword?
Yeah, it's an overused word. It's abused word. It's a totally abused word. Sustainability has been in my country for thousands of years.
Exactly.
So what was new about it? Why it has become a hawa now? And why was it not there earlier?
Yeah.
Because somebody said, now let us earn money through sustainability also.
Yeah.
So let's package it, and to buy that package you will pay more money.
Yeah.
Why? If I start switching off lights in my house on a regular basis, run my air conditioning at 27 on a regular basis, do I really need a certificate? So sustainability is, and I have seen that a lot of people who have nothing to do with sustainability use that word. Yeah, they throw that word left, right and center. So sad and bad both.
If you were to leave a legacy behind in architecture, what would it be?
It would be improving the education system.
Okay.
Because I think legacy in architecture can only be created through the next generation. And if I can build a better generation which can do better architecture, that would be the right thing.
What would you like to say to these upcoming generations of architects?
Be true to yourself, work harder, and try and be original. And architecture is about problem solving. It is not glamour. Architecture is not glamour. And let me go on record again to say this. A lot of architects think when they are doing architecture that is like doing fashion design. Again, I'm not belittling fashion design, but it goes a little beyond that. You see, आपका एक बोलते थे ना रोटी कपड़ा और मकान. So food is first, then is clothing, and then shelter.
Yeah.
And humans have actually evolved like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I would first eat. I don't care if I'm wearing anything or not.
Yeah.
है ना? And then I would wear something. I don't care if I have a roof to sleep. So if you look at that,
Yeah.
the amount of effort that should have gone into understanding the makan has gone down the drain. And my humble request to anybody who's listening, youngsters who are listening, is to get into that mode where you want to take the makan to a level where it becomes sustainable and appropriate. So for me, appropriate is, everybody has a different
Subjective term.
Yeah, it's a very subjective term, but for me, appropriate is something which is like I said, less is more. It does its work, and it's there to do its work only, nothing beyond that.
Okay. Is there something that the architecture schools are doing right these days?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I'd like to go on record to say this. Show me one architecture school which produces a thinking kid. And let me tell you, if they come out with one kid out of 40, that's not a credit to them, it's to the kid. Okay. I passed out in 95 and I can very proudly say we were a batch of 40.
Okay.
Okay. And I think all of us, we were all thinking kids. Even today, some of us are doing architecture, some of us have gone out of architecture into planning, Some of us are doing management, but wherever we are working now, the application is amazing. Okay? So that application has to be there, and that will not happen till the time it is not taught in institutions. I was taught by these brilliant people, as I told you. I don't think I got it out of
Thin air.
thin air. Yes, somebody taught all this thing to us, and I remember even learning model making, and our teacher, she taught us how to sharpen a pencil. We used to take it for granted, na sharpener mein dalo and it'll come out.
Yeah.
She taught us how to sharpen a pencil. And sharpening a pencil for doing drafting for a model was very different from doing drafting for your sheets. Very unusual. Kids nowadays don't even know about it. Okay, and not because also, so kids, they say that why do we need to learn this? But then on the other hand, they don't even know how to operate a printer. If a paper gets stuck in the printer, they don't know how to open the printer.
Yeah.
So in case they are telling us that, oh no, now the digital world is there, at least know how to open the printer and clean it down. वो भी नहीं आता है. I remember my first machine was a D486.
Okay.
Okay, and I also remember
What is
opening
it?
it apart.
The computer, yeah.
It was a computer,
Yeah.
D486,
Okay.
black and white monitor,
Yeah.
a big CPU.
Yeah.
I was opening it up every day to clean it. If there was a problem, I was fixing it.
Yeah.
I did not have an AMC guy that time. Today you look at a guy in my office, I don't think any of our kids in the office can do what we were doing with the same system then. If I look at the kids in my office today, they are super savvy when it comes to the virtual world. Super savvy, but I can't even think they'll do it like that. But the moment it becomes physically doing something,
Breaks down.
yes, they get stuck. And I'm talking about my kids, and let me tell you, my office has got a very good mix of people. Some who can do very good thinking, some who can do very good implementation. But all of them have this one common trait. They are super with gadgets. All of them. And the second common trait, they are completely handicapped when it comes to actually putting things together.
Interesting.
And I can tell you this, that if this is happening in my office, it's happening everywhere. It's not just my office. It's not just my office, because I get to meet a lot of my friends who are all architects. We are discussing the same issues. Same issues.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Well, thank you very much, Architect Amit, for taking the time out and giving
Pleasure.
us little nuggets of wisdom. It's for any of those who haven't obviously seen the website. Axiom is the name of your
Axiom
company.
India.
Axiom India.
yeah.
And the level of projects that you've done are fantastic.
Thank you so much.
So thank you once again for
Pleasure
coming
was
through
mine. Pleasure was
and
mine.
doing this with me.
The pleasure was mine, and I'm very happy that you're doing this and taking these small little, I would call it chapters, to kids who are now hooked on to only the media.
Yeah.
So even if that ways, if I get to them, I'll be super satisfied. Thank you so much for having me today.
Great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.